Chili in the name of...
Hello again and welcome to another episode of Chilli in the Name of Season 3, Episode 10. This will be the last episode for this season, after which I'm going to take a little bit of a break and come back with some fresh stuff in Season 4. Now in this episode I'll be trying 4 sauces from Jay's Chili Bar, including Death by BBQ, G.S.M, Bog Burner and Sting in the Bhut. Now the proprietor of Jay's Chili Bar is one Jason Morfitt, who I've been friends with online for quite some time, and he's been kind enough to send me these 4 sauces, so without any further ado, let's get on it. So the first sauce I'm going to try today is called Death by BBQ. It's a barbecue sauce which contains apples, vinegar, chilies, molasses, and a few other things. And it says on the back here, we combined a selection of our favourite super hots and the fabulous smoky barbecue to give you the 4th chapter of the extreme heat in Death by BBQ. So let's give it a crack, shall we? As you can see, it's quite dark in there. It's about a medium consistency there, I think. Probably it's dark brown, it's got a few chunks in there. Smells really barbecue, which is great. It's really sweet, really smoky, really fruity. It's got a bit of kick there in the heat. It's nothing that I can't handle, but it is quite warm. I mean, I did just take a giant tablespoon of it. Death by BBQ. It's apples. It's peaches. It's carrot. It's roasted veggie and smoke. It's really delicious. This would be great on a hot dog, or as an accompaniment to pizza, or on a burger, next to an omelette even. You can have it. The smokiness is really lovely. It's not really strong up in the nose, but it sort of sits in the palate, and it's just present, which is great. Yeah, love it. In terms of heat, I'd probably give Jay's Chili Bar Death by BBQ a 6 out of 10. It's got a fair bit of heat in it, but I think the flavour really carries that heat really well. So the next sauce I'm going to try for you today is called G.S.M. There's not really a lot of information on there, but as you can see, it's not nearly as dark as the last one. It's a sort of a thinner, much redder sauce. Let's try it out. Smells tomatoey. Smells a bit of chili, bit of vinegar. It doesn't say there's any tomatoes in there, but there's apples and carrots. It's quite sweet. It has it's quite hot. I'm tasting vinegar, apples. I'm tasting a bit of the carrot. It's not smoky or anything. It's quite straightforward. The chilies are sitting quite forward. It's a little bit hotter than the last one. I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10. But it's a really nice sauce. It's really well balanced, and it's sort of almost got a little bit of a soapiness to it. So I'm thinking maybe there's habaneros in there. It doesn't say what chilies are in it, but yeah, it's really delicious, and it's got a little sort of a thickness to it, like a bit sort of applesaucey consistency, which just makes it feel really nice in the mouth. The next sauce I'm trying today is called Bog Burner, and there's no prizes for guessing what that's referring to. It says it contains tomatoes, capsicum, chilies, and a few other things, including lime juice. It does say here on the side, we combine this with our smoky flavours and Trinidad scorpion chilies to give you a smoky taste of fire just like Mama used to make. So let's see what it's all about. Yeah, that's smoky. Again, barbecuey. Smells similarly to the first one. It's a thicker one than the previous one. It's a little bit darker in colour than the previous one, but not as dark as the first one. There's not as much barbecue-y flavour in this one as there is in the first. The tomatoes are really sort of quite prominent in there. As it's the capsicum and the onion. The vinegar sits right back. The heat's starting to build. These Trinidad scorpions are just sitting on the roof of my mouth and the sides of my tongue. In terms of heat, this is probably about an 8.5. It's really good. It's not as smoky or sweet as the first barbecue sort of flavour one, but it does have a lot of that sort of barbecue characteristics about it, and less of the sort of appley, roasted apple sort of flavours that the first one had. It's pretty hot though. I'd probably have this like on a taco or beside some Mexican food of some description. It's I think it's the lime juice that's making me think Mexican with this. Oh, and the heat, because it is continuing to build. The fourth and final sauce in season 3 is Sting in the Bhut, which could be pronounced butt, I guess as well. It's a darker sauce, much like the first one. Not quite as dark as the first one, as you can see, but it's darker than the second and third ones. In terms of consistency, it's quite thick, much thicker and molassesier than the previous one. It says it has tomatoes, carrots, chilies, and it's got a bit of palm sugar in there, lime juice and salt. So, let's try it out. Again, it smells quite tomatoey and a little bit smoky. See how it pours. See, that's quite thick. Yeah, first off, that's quite sweet. The chilies are right up the front, just behind the sugar, and then there's lime juice, and then there's chili. The chili's quite hot. It's building really quickly on my lips. Soft palate, back of throat. Yeah, it's got a fair bit of kick to it. I'm gonna give that one a 10 out of 10 for heat. But yeah, it's quite delicious. It's got more barbecuey sort of finesse to it than the Bog Burner did. I think it might be it is slightly hotter. It feels hotter in the mouth, just generally. But yeah, that'd be really lovely with a curry. You can almost have that as a side dish, like a chutney, as you would with a curry. But yeah, that one's pretty hot. So there you have it, folks. 4 sauces by J's Chili Bar. I think in terms of heat, definitely the last one, Sting in the Bhut, is the hottest. Probably my favourites of them are Sting in the Bhut and Death by BBQ, just because the smokiness really gives them that sort of extra element that doesn't come through so much in the other two. I do really like the G.S.M one. Bog Burner just has had a little bit less of that sort of barbecuey flavour, or the sort of the smokiness that the others have. But they're all very good. I think if I had to choose one, it would be Sting in the Bhut, just because it's smoky and super hot, and let's face it, I like super hot. And so that concludes season 3 of Chili in the Name of. Thanks again to Jason Morfitt for sending across these sauces. It's very much appreciated. Great work. I hope you continue to keep kicking goals out there. As for the rest of you, I'll be back in season 4 with a whole lot of new sauces for you to watch me try. And so until then, see you later.
Chili in the name of.